in college, you don't just get to go and play football. There's so many other like factors you could say. I realized that the reason why the game came so easy when I first started playing the game was because I was being so joyful when I played it. My fuel wasn't anger, it was joy, it was fun. When I started finding other fuels to the game, I started to lose myself. I only have one job, right? But it's also like the pressure of like, if you mess up, it could be huge. So you
Yeah,
can't.
that one job, like you don't mess up that one job.
I don't think I ever dreamt as a kid.
What does it really take to make it to the next level in sports, and is it worth the sacrifices? If you could ask a college or pro athlete one unfiltered question about their journey, what would it be and why? And are the choices you're making today, the teams, the coaches, the training schedule, are those setting you up for success or burning you out before you even get there? I'm Kate Fitzgerald, a D1 beach volleyball player, walk-on turned scholarship athlete, female and sport leader, and now the founder of 2 businesses built through NIL. But none of that came easy. And trust me, most of it wasn't the brochure.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode. We today have a very special guest. Not only is he a very talented football player, but he's a good friend of mine. We are both athletes together at Arizona State University. He has a very unique story. After moving to the U.S. from abroad, Adama transitioned from playing soccer to football, and he began as a walk-on defensive back at the University of Arizona, where, despite injuries and setbacks, he found resilience and lifelong bonds, calling that period necessary for his growth. He then, however, transferred to the rival school, Arizona State University, where he earned a scholarship, embraced new team culture, and continued to develop both as a player and a person. On the field, he contributes to special teams, making an impact in all 14 games during ASU's 2024 season, playing 110 snaps. Off the field, fashion and legacy are central to his identity. Inspired by his grandfather, a Supreme Court justice, Adama brings confidence and presence into the game, to his modeling, and to his personal brand. Please help me welcome Adama Fall.
Thank you. That was pretty great. Maybe sounds so great. Thank you so much, Kate.
Of course,
It's a pleasure to be here.
I'm excited to have you here. You have such a unique story, and it's been so fun for me because we were both athletes at ASU together, but then recently this past year, just working with GoDaddy and all the different opportunities, I've got to learn more about you, and you have a really unique story. So I'm excited because more people should hear about it. So let's just jump into it. Do you have any more introduction that you'd like to give for yourself?
I mean, no, it's okay. You're good. I think you
Okay.
all of it. Yeah.
Okay, amazing. Well, then, let's start off this way. Take me back to the very beginning. What was it like playing sports growing up? Tell us where you're from, and just tell us that initial youth sporting experience.
Well, to start, I'm from Senegal, West Africa. I grew up in Bour, but my family is from Dakar, which is really like a couple hours away from each other. If you're familiar with Senegal, you know both of those areas. And really, growing up, never really played organized sports, as you would say. It was more so just having fun with my mates, friends out on the streets. And soccer was like one of those sports for us. Really, it's the main sport all of Africa. And it was such a beautiful sport. And I just enjoyed really just playing and totally fell in love with it. I remember times when we would watch like the World Cup. I'll never forget, like a core memory was the 2010 World Cup. I remember that.
Really? Why was that?
Because all I remember was Spain being so good. Like, I genuinely it was just, I love the way they played the game. They were such a tight knitted team. And I just had so much love for soccer. And it's like over there, it's almost impossible to like grow up without having love for the game.
Okay, very interesting. So then if soccer is the main sport there and you were a talented soccer player, how did you transition in youth to become a football player?
Yeah, that's like the $1 million question, I guess.
Yeah.
I've always wanted, it's funny, when I came to the US initially, I've always wanted to pursue soccer. And I did for probably a good 2 weeks. And it's not that it was really cool. Like I wanted it, but there was like other factors, I think that how will I say this? More so like the people involved, I would say, because when I came to the United States, my mom's husband at the time, my stepfather, he happened to be a soccer coach, and I think us having such a rough relationship, it almost took me away from the game because that would mean I'd have to like play for him or something like that. So
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to go find my own, I guess, identity. So I picked up the basketball for a little bit. My mom and my dad played basketball, and my mom was actually, I don't know if she did or was supposed to play for the national team in Senegal, but I fell in love with basketball, fell in love with Kobe and the Lakers, and then shortly after that, picked up track, and then I don't know, I knew I was fast and all that stuff, and I gave football a try. And it's funny, like there was this man called Dwayne, and he was like this cop, and he happened to be one of the coaches of this local team back in Simi Valley, California, and he wanted me to give football a try. And then
Yeah.
I think from that moment on, after I got my first touchdown,
You were hooked.
yeah, you could say,
You were hooked.
yeah.
So then you were from Senegal.
Mhm.
When did you move to the US?
2012.
2012. And why did you move?
It wasn't planned. It was so funny. I was at the beach at the time. I was with my best friend David, and
Okay.
we were giving a horse a bat. And this may sound funny, but it's normal out there. Okay, it's like one of those
Okay.
side hustle things. We want to, you could call us young entrepreneurs.
Wait, did you say giving the horse a bat?
Yeah, at the beach, like
What? Okay, so you were on the beach giving the horse a bath.
yes. And then one of
And
my
that was
cousins,
just what you did Okay.
I did a lot of other things, but that was what I was doing. I remember that.
Okay.
And one of my cousins came running down because really the beach wasn't so far, and all I remember was telling me like I needed to go home, and so obviously I rushed back, and I'll never forget there was a blue Prius outside my grandmother's house, and I went inside, I showered. I literally didn't even take clothes. Like other than the things I was wearing, I had a shirt, and it was a polo shirt. I'll never forget. It was a polo shirt, light blue, like the stripes polo shirt with the little red polo, and it was light blue and white. That's the only thing I brought in the U.S., mind you. Like when I came back,
Seriously. So
I
you were on the beach, giving the horse a bath, hanging out with your friends,
Yeah.
and then you were like, they just said go home, and
I
you
need to
ran
come home. Yeah, I didn't even
showered, and left.
get a chance to say bye to anybody. I remember
Why? Why?
saying, I remember like if it was like a big street. I don't know if you could imagine Africa, but like it was a sandy
Okay.
street, and my friends are playing soccer up there, and I had to just rush home. But I didn't know what was happening at the time. I didn't know I was going to the U.S. All I knew was they were like, "You need to go to Dakar," and Dakar is the capital. Obviously, that's where the airport's at. And then I remember going to Dakar, staying at my uncle's house for probably like I think it was a day or so.
Wow.
Or I was on a plane by myself.
By yourself.
Yeah.
You went. You were
They like
sent. You were.
chaperoning me. I had no idea what was going on. But yeah.
Well, why do you know now why that happened? Like, why did you have to leave so abruptly?
I guess like, my mom finally got custody on some on some funny way. Like she worked out a deal, and it was just probably they were just my parents. I think at the time they've decided that was probably the best way for me to and my
Grow up.
yeah, because
Yeah.
I didn't grow up with a mom and dad, around. So
Yeah.
so growing up, I was really just like I didn't have that foundation. I just kind of grew up around a household full of kids and stuff, but I actually never had parents of my own around. So I think
Yeah.
it's like a matter of time. My mom, she was in a position where she could, and she always obviously wants to build a relationship with her kids. So
Is growing up with the way you did that kind of drive your love for sports and your competitive aspect, or just like that community around athletics?
yeah, it's funny now that I think about it more often than I did in the past, just because I've realized that sport has been like everything. It's taught me so much, like about so much about life and so much about myself. I mean, all my like you could say all my like ugly stages of life, like I've probably gone through in sports, like whether
Yeah.
it's in terms of emotions, physical, like all that. Like I've and learning to deal with my emotions, learning to respond, and
Yeah.
when all types of stuff, and learning discipline and all the lessons I've had to learn. And I was blessed that, in each levels of football, I've had a coach I could rely on and kind of lean on to just kind of be whether like a figure, whether it's like a father figure or whatever. And that's initially how I met my pops. Now I call him pops. His his name is Frank Tomlinson, and my best friend, we call him three. He's named Frank Tomlinson the third. Also, a
Okay.
lot of Frank Tomlinsons. But when I was in elementary school, I met him, and and he was my first basketball coach at the Park and Rec league that my mom had put me in, and he practically became like a father figure to me. And to this day, like there was a period of time in my life where I literally like I was living with them, and when I came to college, they brought me in, like they moved me into my dorm and all that stuff. So they're my family, and so yeah, so I think football, just in general, just like sports itself, has brought me so much blessings in life. But like my mom used to always have this saying. It goes like, well, I can't say it in Wolof, but I will break it down. It goes like something like everything that you've lacked growing up, you've gotten in sport. In terms of like everything you lacked growing up with like parents that you were supposed to get from your parents, you got it from other people like outside of that. So like whether it's sports and all that. So yeah, I would say it definitely
That's
shaped
really cool.
him. Yeah.
Yeah, so sports really helped give you that foundation,
Yeah.
life skills, community, just like everything. And
Hmm.
then you found that football was your favorite sport to try to play at another level. So if you came to the US abruptly, and then you got here and you have this new family and just everything is surrounding you. At what point in that journey did you say, "Oh, I want to try to be a college athlete?"
I guess I didn't know how good I was in a sense. Like I never really thought about college because quite honest, it was never something I thought about. I didn't, especially when I was in Africa, like
Okay.
I don't think I ever dreamt as a kid in terms of like I never
Okay.
dreamt of being anything bigger than my like surroundings because I never seen anybody did anything huge. Like I used to like I was it's funny, like it was one of those moments where I was just sitting at home and just thinking about it. I was like, man,
Yeah.
what did I want to be when I grew up? And I never really had
You were living life. You were just a
yeah. And
kid.
it was just like I guess like and it's part of like growing up initially, but I didn't see anybody like I didn't have anybody I could look up to the point where I'm like, because like it was also like we wasn't I think we were rich in culture and committee. Ugh, we were rich in culture and community, but we weren't like we didn't have all the resources. So it's like it's kind of has challenged me because it's kind of one of those things that I want to do when I get older is give people opportunity to dream because I was like, man, if I had went through that as a kid, I know there's a kid going through the same thing. And it kind of like messes up your opportunity or you're like just like you don't really get to dream as much if you don't see anybody go and make something of themselves. Now, obviously,
Totally.
like I'm able to like look up to people. Like I'm like, oh, okay, there's this Senegalese guy like Sadio Mane, and he's a great soccer player, and it's like great. Like one day, perhaps a kid could be like, oh, I want to be just like Adama and go play American football, especially a sport that's basically non-existent in Senegal.
Yeah, well, that's what's so fascinating is you were able to take this opportunity with a sport that isn't dominant where you're from. And you're
Um,
able to build a complete, like, unique experience for yourself and give yourself opportunities to really change the trajectory of like your future. And that's I love what you said about just showing people the other opportunities because that's the entire point of this podcast is like, let's, you know, mentor the youth generation and show them like there are opportunities out there for you, whether it's D1, D3, wherever it may be. So that's really, really cool that you were able to actually do that and be successful at it.
Yeah, I mean, so far, so good. Let's just hope keeps going because, yeah, I think it's all about. It's important for my like one of my favorite saying that I've gotten from my coach. He always says, more is caught than what is taught." Like basically, you
Oh,
learn
okay.
more from what you see rather than
Yeah,
like, and it's like I think it's so important because, like I think it's easier to be inspired when you see somebody go and do something that you've always wanted to that you've always wanted to do yourself. And
totally.
so for me, it's important to like maintain obviously like my image and like all these things, but also like make sure I'm making the right decisions because I know it doesn't really affect me. I mean, it's funny to me now, but even when I go back home to Senegal and it's like the way I'm treated there is totally different than I remember as a kid. Like, and there, it's like it's cool because it's like good pressure, Because I always think pressure is a privilege, and like it's good pressure because okay, now I know like okay, the kids that I've left there, they're not kids anymore, and they're like watching me on social media, whatever,
Yeah.
like how I talk, whatever I do, like they try to be like that, and like and that's important to me. I'm like honored by it, and I want to make sure that I'm doing right by them.
So you were saying pressure is a privilege to you, but does going home and having that pressure on you to just like maintain whatever it may be, whatever image and identity you have, does that ever get to you or how do you handle that?
No, it's funny. Like I've, it's more so a sense of like gratitude. Like
Okay.
I always look at it like out of every kid, I wasn't the most. I can't say like there was so many kids that were better than me at soccer. I would imagine like, but out of all the kids I was surrounded by, and it's funny. One of my cousins, Mamadou, he's playing soccer and he started playing soccer in Canada. He's Canadian. And similar story. He actually was the first person to leave. And he was my best friend growing up. Like he was literally like my little brother. We still talk to this day. And now he's in Germany playing soccer. And
Wow.
after years, we've broke it down. Like we talk about initially like we share the same kind of like I would say the same privilege. Like we I've always look at it like a gratitude thing because out of all the kids, it was us. And you got to look at it. You can't look at it like it's like that pressure. It's like that's why I say it's good pressure. It's nothing like bad because we've
Yeah.
and their eyes back home like we've already went further than anybody has ever. Like
Yeah.
it's like we are their like little superstars, you could say. Like they watch and like they may not understand everything that's going on, but they watch us and they cheer us on from far, far, far away. And I yeah, I look at it like as an honor because I think one thing that I've known that I know about myself, like I am like I would say like a confident individual and I love pressure. I do. Like I've always loved the idea of hey, all the chips like fall in my hand. If like game on the line, like I would want to be that guy. Like I've always wanted that.
Okay.
And
You embrace that pressure and you're like, give it to me. I
yeah,
want that.
because it's like I could whether it goes good or bad, I know I could take it as an individual because I look at it like I think when I like look back now with the projection of my life, like where it started to now, and I've always looked at it like it all came down, like everything had to be so perfect for me to get the opportunity that I did at the time that I did, and to make,
Yeah.
so it's like, so I was like, I've always kind of looked at it like I was like that's like God telling me like you got to take a chance, and it's like no risk, no reward type thing, no risk, no growth.
Yeah.
I'm willing to just
Yeah.
risk because initially, like by not taking the risk, like it wouldn't really make sense. I feel like
No.
being from where I'm from and like with the opportunity that I have, I owe it to all those people back home to at least risk it.
So if there's another kid in your situation right now or something similar, like what advice do you have to that young athlete listening to you who maybe what is either lost on direction, they don't know where exactly their path's going to lead, or they're very confident they want to play a sport in college or just love their sport. What advice do you have to that younger athlete listening with your background?
I would say it sounds a bit cliche, but I would say it's important to remember where you're from, and it's important to know your lineage, and know your family history. Like I've always, although we wasn't like what you would consider like a kingdom or anything, but I know like I've always known that I've come from a royalty bloodline, and like, and to me like it means something to me. Like it means something to me in terms of my character and the way I live my life, because I feel like I would be dishonoring my people, my family, if I ever choose otherwise. And I think that's really important. And when you have that there, obviously, and the number one thing is letting God into your life and and like having a strong relationship with Him and talk. Because initially, like for the ball to roll in your favor, like I think that you have to learn to give all the glory to Him, and also like take the risk, like take the jump, like like don't. I was told a lot. Like
Yeah.
I remember, I'll never forget. It was like an English teacher. I want to say it was like probably my freshman year, and he had broken. I don't know. He was having this talk in the middle of the class, and I think his name was Mr. White, something like that. And he was doing the probabilities of making it to college, D1, and all that stuff. And
Yeah.
I remember leaving that class so fired up and it's like angry because I was just
Well,
like,
because it's hard to make it to the next level.
yeah,
It's
and
hard.
I was so angry, and they were telling me like, out of so in the high school I went to was Royal High School. I initially ended up transferring to Semi High, but that was before I've already finished all my football career at Royal High School. Like I was already committed,
Okay.
and there was only one guy that's ever made it to the NFL over there, Curtis Marsh.
Okay.
He went to college. He went to Utah State, and I was like, man, I gotta like, I'm the next one. Like I'm not gonna be
Yeah.
I'm gonna if I'm playing football, and I believe what I believe, and I've always believed to myself like, hey, I know I could do it. Like like I mean, if I don't have all
Yeah.
the tools, I'm willing to put in the work and like get them. And so that was kind of like my attitude. I was just kind of like, I'm gonna go for it. And I didn't
Yeah.
shy away. And then my junior year, colleges started coming to my high school. I remember my first college to ever come to see me was UCLA. And I think after that, I was just kind of like, whoa. Like I remember they invited me to to UCLA, and I had
Yeah.
like a workout for them and everything. And then Coach Paul Rhodes, and he was like the first guy to ever recruit me. And yeah, after that, I was just like, I could do this. Like so
That's amazing.
that's kind of like my thing.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So then you mentioned your family history and your grandfather, you said inspires you in a lot of ways. So tell us a little bit about your grandfather and your family history then.
Yeah, my my dad is my father's father initially. He as you know, he was a judge, and a really serious man. That's and he passed away shortly before I was born. But
Mhm.
it's funny, like they they would say I was his reincarnation because like I kind of found this weird love for laws and politics. It's just weird. I didn't even see it coming, if I'm being honest with you, because it's not like I grew up like
Yeah.
watching the news or caring about anything that's going
Yeah.
on in the world, to be honest. But it was awesome to me that somebody that I was related to made it that big. Like
Yeah.
you gotta remember, like not having, like I said, like not having that foundation of like mom and dad. Like there was a lot of stories that I didn't know about. I didn't really know, like, even though I knew a little bit about myself, but I didn't know my family like that. I didn't know my family background. I didn't know where we came from.
Yeah.
I didn't know who was who. And it's just funny. Like I went to Senegal, and my grandma's sister, which is like what, my great aunt or something like that. Yeah, my great aunt. And then
Yeah.
I found out my great cousin is like an engineer, and she's into the same thing. I'm into cybersecurity, and she has a career like back in France. And all that stuff is important to me because it's like, okay, cool. Like look at all of us. Like we're like trying to make something of ourselves. We're trying to build our legacy back. And I feel like my grandfather was you could say was one of the ones that like started that, like in terms of like getting a high education and going into that stuff, because everybody else initially, like, they didn't get the same opportunities. Senegal is like popular for having, like, you could have an uncle that's just at home all the time, and
Yeah, totally.
like, there's not, because not everybody gets the same opportunities, but also too, like, it's a rough economy out there, you know, and to like make money. So it's, if you like get an opportunity to be big and you make it, it's like, of course you're gonna be an inspiration. And I take a lot of pride that one of those people, one of those individuals, was my grandfather.
That's beautiful. I'm sure he would be very proud of you today about where you're going and all your aspirations, where you're ending up. You have a incredible background and just story coming to the US at a young age, and the way you came here, the way you chose football, and how sport really just shaped your community and shaped your life. So when was the moment you decided, and how did that happen that you decided to play football in college? What was that initial moment like?
I would say it was surreal. I mean, I didn't really know what to expect. I was just kind of taking it one day at a time. Kind of like, I didn't know the other side of it. Like, I didn't know how big college football was, especially in the US. I just kind of was like, oh, I'm kind of going to a new team. And
Yeah.
I
How
did
old were you when you committed?
probably like my senior year.
Your
Uh,
senior year. And did you reach out to U of A or did they reach out to you?
nah, so yeah, it was so funny actually. I wanted to go to UCLA because, mind you, they were the first people to like, I guess, recruited me, and I that was initially the plan. And Paul Rhodes, the guy that recruited me, he ended up getting a job at U of A, and I
Okay.
had that trust established because he was the first guy to recruit me. So I wanted to, in a sense, I guess, follow him up there because I wanted somebody that
Yeah.
cared my my development as a man, but also as a football player. And
Yeah.
how I ended up getting an opportunity to go to U of A. He kind of orchestrated that whole thing, and then, but I never even, that was never even part of the plan. It was
That's
just
awesome.
came last minute, and it was just kind of like a leap of fate.
That's amazing. So then you decided you always say your early days at Arizona at U of A are necessary. What do you mean by that? What lessons did that experience teach you, both in setbacks and relationships that you built?
I would say like the importance of just like to keep like basically of showing up, like no matter good bad day, gotta keep showing up because I really could have like, especially like in high school when you're like the star in the sense like you've, it's different when you go to a team and you're just like, oh man, I gotta restart all over.
Yeah.
I think it was hard for me to really like make peace with that because I like I said, I didn't understand everything. Like I didn't have like a team that knew like how this college ball went. I just kind of was kind of like, I'm just gonna go and play football, and you don't, in college you don't just get to go and play football. There's so many other like factors you could say. In high school, like,
Yeah.
you're gonna get your opportunity to shine, but it's this, you gotta like make your opportunity. And
Yeah.
then
Totally.
doing that, and then not long after that, I had a sports hernia injury, and that kind of like, I've never mind in my whole high school career I never had a serious injury, and it was tough to like bounce back.
Yeah. What did you get? What injury?
Sports hernia.
How did you recover and go through that?
It was scary, I would say, like getting surgery or like even the idea of it. Like I remember it all. I remember my boy Dorian Singer. He's now with the Jacksonville Jaguars. He like ran a 9 route, which is like a streak, and
Yeah.
the ball was in the air, made the play, made the play. But when we landed, I just landed funny, and he landed like on me, and it was just from then on, I was just like, I just knew something was wrong because when I tried to, I initially got up, and then when the next play, I couldn't even move, and I just ended up
Yeah.
falling on the ground, and then that's all I remember.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was not fun.
Getting into like your transition from U of A to ASU, what prompted your move from Arizona to ASU? And then how did you go from a walk on to earning a scholarship in college?
Kenny Dillingham, that's like my. Yo, you can't deny that man. Like, oh,
He's the best.
yeah, like he's so passionate, and it's like I've never met somebody like him. To be honest, I'm quite just astonished by him because like, oh,
He's his own person for sure. He's
he's like a
incredible.
consistent, but he's such a consistent individual, and I don't think like
Yeah.
I want people to understand that. Like, and I'm telling you, like the energy that I got from him from the phone call to now, it's the same, and it never was a shift. Like he
Wow.
does it, and that to me is so insane because like I'm sure a college coach could recruit you, and then you come to campus, they don't even care like about you.
Yeah.
Just like how engaging he was. I mean, I remember when he would like play video games with me, and like
Oh, he'd get on and play video games with you as
yeah,
the
like
coach.
Madden and like NCAA. I
Was
mean, I've never beat.
really?
I beating playing a coach that knows the game, like calling out all my plays and stuff. But
That's
yeah,
awesome.
still working on that record though. But yeah, like I think when he called me when he just told me just come check it. I remember it was on my birthday. He just told me just come check her out. We would like to have you here. And initially, like it felt good to be wanted, like to wanted in a place where you're gonna
Totally.
appreciate it. And I feel like
Yeah.
transferring was a very scary moment for me. So it was dope to
Of
have.
course. Well, you've even said that ASU's allowed you to grow as both a player and an athlete, and you aren't the same person you were back at U of A. Like, how has ASU in this experience allowed you to grow and change? What's the difference?
You can't approach this thing kind of like gracefully. And I think that's the
Yeah.
mistake I made when I was so calm. I was just kind of like, well, I'll wait my turn. Because like I said, when I was coming in, I didn't know anything about college football. So what I was told,
Yeah.
oh, freshmen don't typically like play. Like they made it almost seem like it's unheard of. But it's like that was terrible advice for an individual like myself because I don't even know how this works. So I kind of was like, oh, okay, like cool. And
You're like, whatever, this
yeah,
will be fun.
I was kind of like, okay, so that's freshman year. I'm not supposed to play, kind of thing. And everything comes with experience. The more experience I had,
Yeah.
the more confident grow, and like the more reps. Like mind you, some of my teammates have been playing this game since they were Pop Warners, and I started like a year before high school, or maybe then my really real football started like freshman year of high school, and so there was a lot of verbiage and things that I did not understand formation. So I had a lot to learn, and that's why that time at Arizona, when I came here, I felt more confident because I was kind of more prepared going into like my journey here than at U of A.
That makes sense. So then, being more prepared, you obviously stood out and you were able to get time. I mean, you played all 14 games last season. You made an impact from the special teams, but special teams is a really unique role in football. And how does that role shape your mindset and value to the team?
I think that was like it's one of the most humbling things because it's a lot of service, and it ties into my fate. Kind of
That's beautiful.
how I made peace with it because Coach Regal would always say, "None of you guys came to college to play special teams. Like nobody was coming to college and was like, I'm gonna go and block for this guy." And it's tough because I remember my first year here when we went like 1-11 and I was starting on special teams. That was my first time like starting. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, man, I remember walking there was so many fans and all that stuff before the sandstorm and all that. But it was crazy blocking guys that are so much bigger than me. But each year, like last year, I put on a little bit of size, prep myself. And I just kind of realized like, okay, cool. Like this is where I'm valued at. Like I'll do whatever the team needs. Like it really turned me into a team guy because I could block for a guy and another guy could score. I don't get
Mm,
the glory, but I was still super happy. Like, and it was okay with me because I was like,
that's really beautiful.
yeah, like I don't mind doing the dirty work, but that's like a character growth for me because it never used to be like that. Mind you, like in high
Yeah.
school, I knew every game I was gonna score a couple of touchdowns. So it was kind of like something I had to go through myself and just tell myself like it doesn't matter how you start your journey at the end of the day, but it's all about like opportunities. And my first year here, I had that opportunity. I just took it and ran with it. And it's like Matthew Slater was in the NFL for like I don't know 10 plus years just doing special.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay, this guy did it. Like I guess I'm gonna
Yeah.
approach
Well, it's
it.
something that's really unique that I think more athletes need to hear is that like you can be a team, you need to be a team player. You need to understand like your success equivalents to the team's success. And then with this, if your teammates being successful and winning, you are too. And that's something that it sounds like you learned through this position.
I did. There was so many opportunities like that came with it. Like I mean, I took so much pride into my role. I really did. And it was super
That's
important.
amazing though. That's amazing.
It's important. It's important to have roles. I think that not everybody, you're only gonna have 11 starters on offense and 11 starters on defense.
Yeah.
Take away from the fact that like you still will have your opportunity. Like at the end of the day, it's just like, look, our safety room is full of guys, seniors and all that stuff. And I had to go wherever I could add value to that. So it's like
Yeah.
about just me. It was just about the team. And I think that was a big testimony to who we were, who we are, as a program. It's like last
Yeah.
everybody made the decision to show up and make it
Yeah.
the team. And
Yeah.
we had the special year we did.
Yeah. Well, that's also very unique because moving away from the team focus and just your focus, being on special teams, it demands precision and trust. It demands like, you're out there for certain plays and you have one job that needs to get done. And of course, every athlete in every role that's important. But what would you say? How do you prepare before a game? What's your preparation routine before taking the field for these really, precision moments?
On Monday, like really, I take it so like Mondays. It's really Tuesdays. Like Tuesdays, we start obviously like the whole special team things. Coach Reg will have the game plan and all that stuff. And from
But what's
Tuesday,
your routine?
oh yeah, no, it ties into mine. Like from Tuesday, like once I have the formations and everything down, I just kind of like watch it over and over again. I'm watching film
Okay.
from the opponents. Um, just kind of seeing the guys that I'm going to be going against, like seeing if they're like guys that like to, sometimes guys can't run. That doesn't mean they can't physically run, but they're just like bigger and more impactful guys. So they're more powerful and like working on like planning ahead how I'm going to be blocking them on certain releases and stuff like that. And then the day before the game, it's all really like mental. Like I'm just kind of just going through everything that we've already like established as a team. And like you said, like I only have one job, right? But it's also like the pressure of like if you mess up, it could be huge. So you
Yeah,
can't.
that one job, like you don't mess up that
You
one
know what
job.
I'm saying? It's like so. It was
Yeah,
like I
it's
try
like,
not to like let it get to me at all. But I just it's like you said, it's like if everybody do their job, like it just makes it like
yeah,
for me it was more so knowing like the adjustments, like certain formation. If they shift out of this formation, I gotta adjust, like all that stuff. So knowing my adjustments and all that stuff, that was kind of what it was for me.
yeah,
I just kind of go through that over and over again, and then until I'm like comfortable. And by the time Thursday hits and Friday hits, we're on the bus. Like I'm fully confident. I'm fully prepped.
yeah.
I have no,
That's key.
yeah, I'm
That's
good.
key though. Your confidence comes from your preparation. You prepared, so you're able to be confident. People think confidence sometimes is just this like something you can learn. It's like, no, your confidence is coming from the fact that you were preparing and you put the effort in. You
Like you
worked
know
hard.
what you're seeing. Like
You know what you're about to do.
I've seen this.
You have a, yeah,
I've practiced this, so I know what you're
yeah.
going to do. And yeah, obviously.
Moving away a little bit from your athletic journey, because outside of your sport, you have a lot going on. You're interested in law, you have your family history, and you're very close and passionate about that and living, in your grandfather's legacy. And then also, fashion is a huge passion of yours. So, how do you navigate these different passions within your life while being a D1 athlete?
I feel like it all ties in. Like it's all part of me.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like it's all part of me. Like
Yeah.
sports, like it's just another. It's also it gives you opportunity to express yourself a lot. And
I like that.
whether it's like before the game, and fashion kind of initially does the same thing. It's all about expression. And I just, I mean, for me, it's like an everyday thing though. Like I don't really think about like I love pieces. Like I don't. I just love putting outfits together. And so what it could be an event, it could be just my regular everyday. Like it all kind of ties into my like how I'm feeling. Obviously,
Okay.
being here, I have to the heat matters, so I can't just put on any piece. But like some days I want to be super calm, some days I want to be loud, and it's so I find it so cool that you could like however
You
you
can express yourself through
however you
fashion.
can express, you can express it in any way, form, and shape. So.
Yeah. Has your fashion tied into what you do with NIL at all? Has NIL allowed you to kind of like embrace the fashion and bring it into your sport?
Yeah, no, certainly it has. Like that's why I said it ties in. Most of like my first like modeling shoot that I've ever done in my career was with Adidas, actually. And it kind of tied, it was like a back to school campaign, but Adidas is widely known,
Really?
yeah, as like a sports like, like brand. And so that was like super cool to like be modeling and stuff and seeing myself on like when I go inside of a store and all that stuff, like it was
I'm
insane.
sure that's amazing. And that's another inspiration for everyone back home.
Yeah, I mean that was crazy, but it was crazy, but not as crazy like as my sister. Like when I first saw my sister on the billboard, like I was just like, whoa. And that, like I
Your
said,
sister models too, right?
yeah, and that's kind of like what I was saying earlier. It's like when you see it, it's like it's easier to like be inspired by it. So I was really more
Yeah.
happy to see her like achieve it at that level because she really paved the way for me in terms of
That's
that.
beautiful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. So it sounds like your family's had a lot of influence on your life.
Yeah.
And your grandfather has influenced you in the passion of law. Tell us a little bit about law and where is that leading to you? What's that life choice?
I think that part of my purpose is to service others. I don't know, I never knew exactly in what way, but law was one of those things. I never wanted to be a prosecutor. Never want to be a lawyer. Never. Excuse me. And I never will. But I wanted to be actually, want to be like a diplomat and
Okay.
fight for people's right rather than prosecute others and like put them in jail, whatever, for whether it's good or bad. Like and for me, it was like cool and that's kind of like what led to me studying cybersecurity because when I've realized when you talk cybersecurity, nobody's mentioning Senegal. I don't think people mention
Yeah.
that a lot, which means that's an open realm. That's something that
Yeah.
that's something that can be built, but it's all about a choice of somebody like starting it. And
Yeah.
I feel like I really do think everywhere around the world, not just Africa itself, everybody deserves to be safe. Like, for like to keep their
Totally.
communities safe and also their identity, and cyber ties into everything. And so I've looked into cyber law. So there's like many opportunities. There's many paths you could take. So I'm just taking it one
Yeah.
time right now.
That's amazing. So do you plan to go to law school or what do you plan to do next?
Take over the world. Have my.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. I've thought about it. I'm still thinking about it, to be honest. I just working right now on a internship for this tech company. Can't say too much yet, but like
Oh, fancy.
yeah,
Okay.
I'm taking it one like it's not out the picture for sure. Like
Yeah.
really more so, there's a part of me, I would humbly say, that does not want to go back to school for 4 years. I will not even lie. Like, but there's part of me that's like, like if the opportunity presents itself, I will take it if it makes sense.
That's beautiful.
So
Yeah.
right now I'm just enjoying things one thing at a time.
So in the same light, if the opportunity presents itself for football, would you take that to try to go professionally? Do you think that's an option?
Yeah, I think as one of those things, like I gotta finish what I start. So it's like obviously like come pro day, all that. Like I plan on doing all those things and just finishing what I start. And then the rest I just leave to God. Kind of like what I did
Yeah.
it's kind of what I did kind of like with my whole journey. And it's like,
Yeah.
that's what I was for. That's what I'm gonna go do.
Yeah. So, what advice do you have to kids right now that are maybe thinking, okay, I want to be a college athlete, but I also have aspirations in law, cybersecurity, or these big aspirations, medical school, but they're probably told, you can't do that. You can't do both. Like, yes, you can. You're a shining example of the fact that you can. So, what advice do you have to those listening?
I would say that realize that a lot of times in life, um, it's a lot more about networking, talking to people than
Totally.
it is about actually like going like it doesn't like I don't know how to explain it. It's funny because a lot of
It's,
I know a lot of people that like from if you look at their academic stuff, it's like
yeah,
top notch. But if you don't have people skills, and I think this is important. If you don't have people skills, learn to build them because people skills will take you much like farther in life than anything else. Because
I agree.
I I think that's like so important. I think that like the new like generation, not saying we're ancient or anything, but it's just
Feels
like
like it sometimes.
do and like it just feels like they don't really like to talk much. They keep to themselves a lot. And that's one thing that I've learned. Is like a lot of my opportunities also came from just the fact that I was willing to like talk to like people about it. Like I wasn't
Yeah.
afraid of like walking up to somebody, introducing myself because you never know who will do what in the future. I mean, if we're talking GoDaddy, that's all initially all it was. They can't
Yeah.
present themselves to the whole team, and I stayed after the meeting and I went and introduced myself and kept the relationship and built from there. And then that opened
Yeah.
an opportunity down the line. So I just think that like
Yeah.
that's what I would give them. That's what I would say.
That's amazing to always just like those people skills are so important.
Yeah,
Well, you
definitely.
just mentioned something really cool. I know you had that unique NIL deal with GoDaddy. What was that like? Was that really fun to shoot and everything?
Oh, so cool. I haven't been in set for a while. So it was
Did it
dope.
bring you back?
It did. It did. I was just like, man, I missed it. But it was so fun. It was, I would say they had me training. It was a training session, but
Really?
it was not. I swear, like you. But it's funny. Like it teaches you to kind of respect like everybody's profession in a way. Like and there's art in everything that everybody do. Like behind,
Totally.
behind every passion is like like really like you have to like dedicate yourself. Like the work has to be beautiful, and they have their own angles. It's not like a football field. You're about to make an open field type. It's not those type of angles, but they're passionate about this, and it's important for you to like be present and like
Yeah.
be involved and like give them and like kind of I don't know, kind of like bring the uh whatever they're imagining to reality. And it's like I find that so beautiful. But it was such an amazing opportunity. It was so fun and super excited for the future and I can't wait for it to be out.
Oh, that's amazing. That's exciting. Well, congratulations. This has been like you have such an incredible journey. So you've gone through so much and you've experienced so much. So I'd really like to take a second for you to give advice back to parents and people listening, coaches, parents, youth athletes, even current college athletes who maybe are feeling a little lost or struggling right now. So what advice would you give to the version of yourself who first walked onto the field in California?
There was a time of my career
Okay.
where I lost the joy for the game because I realized that the reason why the game came so easy when I first started playing the game was because I was being so joyful when I played it. My fuel wasn't anger, it was joy. It was fun. I just loved the idea of playing with a bunch of my friends. And it wasn't about winning or losing. It wasn't about any of that. Because when I think about it, I never thought about stuff like that. It was more so like balls in the air, like I'm gonna jump and go get it. I want to make a cool play. And it was just like having those brotherhoods and after the game going to get pizza together and stuff like that. Like that's what it was all about. And that's what I would say. Don't lose that. Because when I started finding other fuels to the game, I started to lose myself and I started to lose my ability. Like and my confidence would shift if I didn't make a play I feel like I should have made or stuff like that. So I started enjoying the game back when that kind of like how it's just beautiful how it all ties into. And I think that God gave me like a second chance,
Yeah.
gave me the opportunity. And that second chance was last year. Like being servicing and just enjoying the moment, being there with my friends. I feel like I was the first year when we went 1-11, I was so like just there was so much pressure and I was just like not like pressure, but just I was so closed off. I was so like I was taking it too serious, not just from the game,
Hmm.
everything, even the process behind the game. I didn't really enjoy it.
Yeah.
I didn't really take the time to walk around the hotel and see people in the game room gaming or going to talk to a guy.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, it's game week. I gotta lock in, you know? But and now
You
I just
lost the fun.
yeah, like now I just like I enjoy it. I love it. Like I love practicing. I do not care. Like I don't care what am I doing, bro. I could be sitting there being a blocking dummy. Like I don't care. I love the like idea of building something together and going out there and showing the world and the people seeing our relationship out there and seeing how it's like when people are all like tied into one goal. And like to me that's beautiful. So yeah.
Yeah. You're just committed to the team. You're committed to the sport, all of
Yeah.
it.
And like the team your team could not sometimes it's not a football team. Sometimes
Yeah.
you with a group of friends. Sometimes your team is your family. You know, whatever. There's different. That's why I think life itself is a sport. That's why I think everybody's an athlete in some way somehow. So all I know is if you give it to the team, if the team wins, you're gonna win too. So don't be a lone wolf.
No, never. No I in team. Classic saying, the most cliche saying, but it's true.
There's no I in legacy.
There we go. There's no I in legacy. I like that. Is that one of your favorite mottos, would you say?
Came up with it myself just now. So
You just came up with that?
I just came up with that.
On the spot. I like it. I like it. We'll trademark it. That's your saying now. So then how have these experiences you went in and out of the love of your sport and all of that and the moving countries and changings, how have they just shifted your look on hard times? Like what is your, perspective on a hard time now?
Hard times don't even bother me anymore. Like
Really?
used to ask why me a lot. Now I'm more so am like when I'm grateful for the hard times. Cause a lot of the times it's like you don't know how say incredible your story is. And I do believe this in every individual until you like talk about it and somebody like it's like, whoa, like you did that. But I never like growing up, like all the stuff that I went through, I never really thought it was a big deal. Like I didn't know like this was such a unique thing or this was so powerful.
Yeah.
And the power in my story. Cause I was just living it. When you're living it, you don't really
Totally.
it's like what others sees. So it's like I would say like hard times is a privilege. And it's also hard time means that you were picked to do something. Good
Yeah.
good times, it's like it's a circle of life. You're gonna have good times, you're gonna have bad times. Like don't instead and when you do have those hard times, instead of asking why me, because it's never good to be a victim. I would say this.
Never.
Aspects in life, do not be a victim. So instead of saying why me, say why not you. And
Yeah.
when you change that, it changes your life and everything that you do. Why
Well,
not?
you said something that's really unique. You said like, now you were just living your life. You said
Yeah.
something that was very unique. You said, you were just living your life. You weren't even realizing. Do you almost feel like today with these athletes they're just living their life, but now with NIL and all these different pressures of being an athlete and social media, that they think they have to share every ounce of it and they have to put it out there for themselves and they have to like make sure they're this perfect role model. Like you said, you feel that pressure that sometimes you get lost and you're no longer just living your life. Like,
That's no, like truthfully, like you gotta stay true to who you are and stay true to yourself. Like opportunities will I've always believed opportunities come to the authentic. It always it doesn't matter. I wasn't it's like I think it's a testimony in itself that hey, I'm not the one catching touchdowns on Saturdays, nor am I the one like throwing them or like I'm not
yeah,
not always starting safety or none of that. But when you speak of our team, my name gets brought up, and I probably have one of the most minimal jobs on the field. But it's like when you stay authentically, when you're like authentic to who you are, and
Yeah.
do like opportunities will align with that. Like it just will,
I
because
like that.
you do have interaction with people. They see that, and they see that about you, and they appreciate you for who you are and what you do. And it doesn't matter how big or small it is. I think nowadays everybody thinks that they need to be this huge star to initially
Totally.
like eat. Fam,
Yeah.
it's a huge plate. You could eat.
Totally.
There's like
I like that.
NIL, it's so much like bigger than just what you do on the field. NIL really is a challenge to your character. Like, could you
Mhm.
really be as versatile of a person as you think you are on the field? Like, it's just like you got to be versatile. You got to be willing to do things you're uncomfortable with, whether it's sitting in a room talking to people. Like, yeah, if somebody's willing to give you their money and stuff like that, you got to be willing to like put yourself out there. But that doesn't mean like pretend or like build this character in your head. Like, just be you.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
there's gonna be people that appreciate that.
Yeah.
There's gonna be people that appreciate that, and you also gotta stay consistent. Like, also nowadays, it's like I always tell my friends, like, you can't be that one guy that's like, okay, you want to have that 1-2 posts, you want to be cool, you want to have like an aesthetic Instagram,
Oh
and
yeah.
like, okay, that's a decision, and with every decision there's a consequence. So it's like it's all about what you put out there. So
Totally.
I never really thought about, okay, like I wanted this aesthetic. I always kind of thought about, I want my page to reflect who I am as a person, to also reflect my character. Like I want when somebody goes to my page, they'll be able to say these three things: he loves God, he loves family, and he loves football. And
Simple.
those are one of the three most important things for me. So it's like great. So that's what I'm gonna put out there. And then if and a lot of the times NILs, like with these brands and all that stuff, they're more so just looking for authentic people, because when you're authentic, you find it's initially just a new way to promote their stuff.
Totally. They want to use your story to share their story. And if you're just a copycat paste of like an algorithm, then they have nothing to promote. And you need to be true to yourself in order to actually share that. I really like that you brought that up because that's a good point.
I would say that.
Yeah. Amazing. Amazing. Okay. Well, to finish us out here, we're going to get into a little like rapid fire session called TMI, Too Much Insight. And it's rapid fire ish. It's just a bunch of questions that we're going to get, a little inside look into you and who you are. No. They're great questions. You'll enjoy them. Okay. Starting off strong, what is your favorite fashion piece or look that helps you stand out and stay true to yourself?
Dang, that's unfair. Go to. Okay. I love Cactus. This is a brand called Cactus Valley, and they have these pants, right? They have these pants.
Okay.
All of them have like bedazzles. I know it's not like people think it's super shiny. I love those. I would go
Okay.
like a jogger. I love those joggers and a simple tee from Lululemon, black, white, whatever, and a nice cap. That's my go-to.
That's your go-to look?
My go-to.
Okay.
So it's a little bit of little fancy fashion, but it's a little simple. It's also simple.
Your go-to hype song on game day?
I should not say this.
Oh no, what is it? Maybe just say the artist. What's your go-to artist on game day?
Okay, I'll say it. It's fine. I don't really listen. I only like I listen.
Is it Taylor Swift? I know it's Taylor.
No, it's not. No. I should change my question. I should change it. Okay. You ever heard of the song Pyramid? You ever heard of
By who? By who?
The old song. Let me see. It's called.
Are you playing it for us?
Should I play it?
Yeah, go for it. Why is this your hype song? What about this?
In game day, I'm just more so trying to be free, not like.
Okay.
So it's kind of like and I used to listen to like High School Musical too, like that's one of them. But I also listen to, like I'm not like, but it's like, hold on. You know the song?
I can't hear it. You gotta turn it up. We can't hear anything. I'll edit the song. Okay.
No,
No, I don't. We can't hear it. Okay. That's your go-to song.
bro, this song is fire. Real talk.
All right. I'm gonna edit this song in and make sure that everyone can hear your favorite song. That's
You
your
don't
go-to
have
song. No, I'm going to for sure.
to do that. You gotta do that.
Okay. What would you say is your favorite travel memory with the team? One of your favorite all-time, just like not necessarily on the field, just like a behind the scenes favorite memory with the team traveling.
Have you been watching my vlogs on YouTube? It's all game day vlogs. I would say my favorite one is probably dang. Oh, easy. It was easy. Atlanta.
Why?
First of all, never been to a hotel that big, but we have this whole like space. It was like they made it all for us, and it was like the biggest game room I've ever seen. I mean, anything. It was bad. Yeah, we had basketball. We had all sort of video games: Xbox, PS5, pool tables, ping pong, everything. We even had barbers and people. Like I literally got my hair done in the middle of.
Are you serious?
Before the game, the night before the game.
We like barely had ice packs at some of our games.
Well, this was the Big 12. I mean, this was the playoff game.
Yeah. No, fair enough. That's awesome. That's awesome.
That's cool. That was a cool experience.
When you're traveling, who on your team is like the energizer? Like who's just gonna get everyone ready for game day?
Jordan Crook.
Okay.
Zay doesn't say much, so Zay is like super light. He's super light until we're like in the locker room, and then he switches. Like he has this crazy switch. Like he can go for Zay, and then all of a sudden he's in the locker room like punching walls. Not like punching wall, but like try to get the team attention, get us hyped up. And Crook, same way, like just kind of like y'all pick it up. Like Crook is such a cool like energy guy.
All right.
We have a bunch of personalities. Sam.
Yeah.
Jordan, like, yeah, we have a bunch of personalities. Some guys are more chill, some guys are more loud, so whatever.
Okay, if you could switch sports for a day, what are you trying?
Tennis.
Why tennis?
Because I feel like I'd be pretty good. I just feel like.
Okay, all right, fair enough. All right. What is your dream NIL collab?
Yes. It would be with a movie like Sony or Marvel.
Oh, cool. That's a really cool answer. That's really unique.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Last question here is, what does being committed while you're off duty mean to you?
Really, I think it means everything. Like it's like committed and consistency for me goes hand in hand. Like especially off the field, I feel like that requires more commitment because you can't only you can't only be committed when you're say on the field or something. Like it has to be a lifestyle for you. You know, you have to go to bed at a certain time, you have to eat a certain way, and just in life, like you just gotta be consistent. And yeah, I would say that. Consistency.
I love it. I loved it. Well, thank you so much for taking the time today to come onto the podcast. It was very fun getting to know you a little bit more, share your story. Is there any last minute words of advice you have or anything you want to share to those listening, and how can they get in touch with you if they want to reach out?
I would say I'm super proud of you for bringing your vision to reality, and I'm super grateful that I was one of the guest speakers.
Oh, that's so kind of you.
Yeah, I would say that definitely follow your podcast, Committed.
Thank you.
Gage Fitzgerald. And I would say to get a hold of me, my Instagram, my email. You can't have my number. I'm just kidding.
What's your Instagram so they can look you up?
Adama D as in dog Fall, and my email. I'm not gonna put my email, but
yeah, no, let's not. Your Instagram's good, but thank you.
Check out my YouTube channel at Dama 2.0. It's like 3 A's at the end. You will not be disappointed. Also,
amazing.
Fall camp vlog coming out soon. And
All
I'm
right,
doing
I'm excited.
a senior year movie.
Okay.
Yeah. So
So we've got a lot of Adama to look forward to coming up.
certainly.
Oh, I'm excited. Well, thank you so much for coming on today. And I'm so excited. Good luck this season. You're getting kicked off. I know by the time this is coming out, you'll probably be going through season. So we're excited to see what you do and everything that ASU accomplishes. They got a big season ahead of them after last year. So here we go. But thank you again and good luck. We're excited.
Thanks for having me. Bye-bye.